What's going on? It's your dog Artmanboxing, and we're back with another boxing conversation. Man, it's fight week, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I'm super hyped. Oh yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat already. Shout out to my dude Eric Gomes, Bob Squad. Let's get it. Yeah, Egner Mendez. Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, man. I mean, it's looking good, dude. The fight that we all been waiting for. Terrence Crawford versus Showtime Porter. Man, if Porter wins, there's gonna be a lot of bow ties out here. A lot of people gonna be wearing bow ties and suits, trying to get like Porter. But I don't know, man. I like Porter, but I'm just thinking like I don't know if he has enough to take Bud out of his game or knock him out of his element. Um, I think Bud just has the perfect style to counter Sean Porter because everybody's expecting Bud to try to make this a dogfight. What if he doesn't make this a dogfight? What if he makes this a real technical fight and try to make Porter box him and he just stands on the outside and just clips Porter, and in the moment he finds his opportunity to put it on him, he just goes and do what he does best. Um, Porter's best bet is to fight dirty. When I say fight dirty, I don't mean like Tyson Fury coming in with temper gloves and shit like that. I mean like going there and roughing them up on the ropes, you know, push him, push him, out muscle him, and just try to break him down, you know. But shout out to everybody in the chat. He said, "What's up, Art Man? Salute Art Man and the fam. Can't wait for Bud versus Porter. Crawford got hands. Yeah, I consider Crawford the number one fighter in the world. A lot of people disagree. I don't give a fuck. I keep it 100 every time. I'm rocking with Crawford, but I'm rocking with Porter too. And a lot of this fight really got boxing fans on the fence. Hold on, let me talk to the people. This fight really got people on the fence. You know why? Because people like Crawford, but they also like Porter. And they're like, man, I don't want to go out there and pick the wrong guy and look crazy online. So I'm just gonna play the back scene. And you know me as a boxing fan, who I am, Art Man Boxing. I'm saying, man, stop being scared, man. If you got Porter, pick him. If you got Bud, pick him. It is the week to pick sides, and ain't no turning back. Just go ahead and say who you got. Who y'all got in the crowd? Y'all let me know who y'all got. Drop y'all predictions in the chat. Let me know who you got. Because I got Bud. I got Bud. I wouldn't say easily, but I feel like Bud's gonna do something impressive that's gonna solidify his reign at the top. Bud UD. See, that's good. That's pretty good. I'm hearing a lot of people saying Bud by stoppage, but that just sounds like a rewind. That sounds like a rewind of 2019 when fans were saying that Bud was going, Errol Spence was going to stop Crawford. But Bud has really stopped everybody at welterweight that he fought. And I know people like to say, oh, look who he fought. Washed up Kell Brook, one leg David Benavidez, and all that shit. But you got to keep in mind, he did stop them dudes. It's not like he went all 12. He stopped them dudes. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Just maybe. He may have a secret recipe. I wanted to watch that what you call it, that Blood, Sweat, and Tears, because I want to see. I really want to feel what exactly, like. I want to know what's the game plan for both of them, dude. I feel like Bud's just training. I really don't see, okay, when it came to the Errol Spence versus Sean Porter, we saw the fight camp series and them dudes was training hard, fighting hard, training hard. Now it's kind of like everything's kind of under wraps, they're not really saying it all. They're not showing it all. I feel like they just gonna let it all in the ring. And that's what makes me feel like this is gonna be a real good fight, y'all. Said Bud about to make a statement. He has to make a statement. He has to make a statement. No, real shit. So you buying it? Yep. My pop's buying it. See, I'm moving around right now about me in the chat. Uh, but right now I'm watching the Blood, Sweat, and Tears right now. In the end, every fight is about what's on the line. For the WBO welterweight championship of the world. For one of not only his era, but any era's greatest fighters. His next I mean, Bud accomplished a lot already. Because in spite of every prestigious win and one of the most impressive records of all time, there comes a moment for everything when everything seems to be at stake. Hold on. Everybody had their own destiny. It's my destiny to be here where I'm at. For Terrence Crawford, I think there's a lot of pressure for him to prove that he is who he is. And it's not just the resume that's weak. So who do y'all think got a lot on the line in this fight? It's about a two-time former welterweight champion and one of the greatest talents. Who do y'all think has a lot more to lose in this fight? I think it's pretty obvious, right? The champion. As just another fight who could have had it all. Man. Woo, man, Bud got a lot to lose, man. They talking about football Sean. Yeah, Sean in here looking like football athletic in prime Sean. Bud just like, nigga, I'm better than this nigga. I know I'm just way more skilled than this nigga. Woo. Will the past be a prelude to the future? This is Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I like what I'm seeing, y'all. I'm over here watching the Blood, Sweat, and Tears right now. In every training camp, fighters must strive for balance. I'm watching the second episode. And outside of the gym. And for the former WBC welterweight champion, an off day is spent with friends and family. Here they go with this bullshit. So he paintballing and shit. I don't know what the fuck this guy do with the fight. Top rank got to be all cinematic and shit. Paintball is symbolizing growing up in the hood. Getting shot like paintballs, but he was getting shot at by real bullets. Terrence Crawford. He got shot in his head. And boxing saved his life. What the fuck? Hold on, y'all. Let me drop the link. Training camp means rarely having a day off. Everybody quiet in here. It is that. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm tripping. Oh, here it is. Okay. Dedication and sacrifice that has forged Terrence into one of the pound-for-pound greats. Suffer now and live greater later. That's why I've been doing this all my life. So I can suffer. Bud never really had no major injuries. That's what's really interesting about Bud's career to me. Hey, Bud with the dreads was going nuts too.
outside looking in, and they don't know the type of sacrifices boxers put on our body and our mind. Terrence Bud Crawford is just getting better and better and better. A lot of boxers, they don't make it to this level. Everybody had their own destiny, and I believe that it's my destiny to be here where I'm at.
Shh.
Destiny has led Crawford to defend his
Man, I don't know, man. Now I'm sitting back watching this shit, and I'm just like, man, Bud is a really skillful fighter, man.
what my opponent is doing.
Yeah, Porter's strong physically,
Just feeling the moment.
but it's just like, dude, what do you do with a technician in there
Or I'm
who got
tired.
all the attributes, the speed, the
No matter
strength,
what, you're not gonna bring
the
it.
IQ, the brain? What does Bud lack
So I just get in that
as a boxer?
mentality, like, all right, let's go.
Nothing
Because in a
really.
fight, it may get to that point where everything is just getting pushed at you, pushed at you, pushed at you, and you can't take a back step. So now that's when that
He
training
was eating the hell out them jabs in that Kell Brook fight, though. I'm gonna keep it 100,
or you gonna swim.
but he turned up. Hey, he fucked Kell Brook ass up. Oh my lord. When he got him in that corner and he just feeding those straight right hands, he beating this nigga up like they in the fucking yard or some shit.
As he seeks his 38th straight professional victory without defeat, Crawford fuels himself from the criticism he has become accustomed
Oh,
to.
even Crawford, he's swimming right now.
The naysayers, the doubters, you pay no attention. You know, I have people follow me and just bash me everywhere I go. See, somebody that's not happy with themselves and that thinks they can do what I do and that feels like their opinion matters when it really doesn't. That what makes me great is because no matter who I fight, there are always going to be questions about it. We're going to double jab from the southpaw snake.
I don't know about that one, but
If they're going to say, oh, well, this is his toughest task because Kell Brook was supposed to be my toughest task. And when I walk over him, then it's like, oh, well, that guy wasn't that good. We knew you was going to do this, and we knew you was going to do that. Got to visualize somebody in front of you. Boom. Jab, slip, jab, catch, counter. Boom. I believe I do need Sean Porter as a name on my resume because
now he's saying, yeah, he needs Sean Porter on his resume. I'm glad he understands that.
So he's the guy to be when it's all said and done. When I retire and I'm in the Hall of Fame, people gonna look back and they're gonna be like, man, dude was good. That's when I'm gonna get my respect.
We saying that right now, but we just want to see you against this Sean Porter. But man, dude, imagine if Sean Porter go in there looking better than he did in that Earl Spence fight. I don't know, man. This is,
As much of the world's
but it's not like Sean Porter was scared and didn't want this fight. He asked for this fight. This is something he wanted.
Of a heavyweight trilogy for the ages, the stage was set to announce the upcoming bout between Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter for the WBO welterweight championship. Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the MGM Grand here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It all goes down Saturday, November 20th.
Damn, the MGM Grand. I was just in that motherfucking Vegas, man. Shh, man, it's a cool little place, though. I fuck with it. Now they shaking hands and shit. They niggas is always shaking hands and shit. I get it. I get it. Have some respect for your opponent. This and that. But I don't know, man. If I knew I was gonna be fighting you, man, I kind of wouldn't want to have no respect right then and there. We can have respect after.
Everybody that he gets in the ring when he dominates. So for me to be that guy that he can't dominate, to be that guy that beats him to the punch, that finishes the exchanges.
Okay, why they showing all these old ass Porter highlights?
I got it.
Okay.
Other fighters that you fought are different. The more you push, the more I'm gonna push. The more more you come, the more I'm gonna come. You hit me hard, I'm gonna hit you even harder, and let's do the last. Best opponent brings out the best in Terrence. The best in Terrence is gonna bring out the best in Sean Porter. Y'all benefit from what we gonna do November 20th.
Yeah, we sure are gonna benefit from that shit. I'm ready to see that shit. I got the money ready. Of course I'm paying for this shit. Who not? And you know what I love? Everybody talk all that shit. Oh, I can't wait to Bud fight this guy. He need to fight this guy. Da 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 da. Look, he fighting this guy. So go ahead, put your money where your mouth is.
Something that I've always wanted to do, and so much easier for me to kind of fall into it and adjust to it and learn and grow and adapt and things like that. I'm a huge fan of Sean Porter, the fighter, and he's obviously.
I wonder if they gonna show him falling asleep on that motherfucker. That shit was funny.
Sean's not gonna let you time if it comes. He definitely. That's right. November 20. We're just getting started. It's definitely gonna be a new.
Man, this gonna be a good one, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And new in the future.
What's good, Art?
Undisputed. About to wait champion of the world. They're gonna see something they ain't never seen before. You gotta be ready, Sean.
He said you better be ready, Sean. What's going on, brother?
What's good, Art? How you doing?
Shit.
3-time champion. 3 different wins. Dang.
Ready for this fight this weekend, man?
Hold on, let me turn it up. So I'm open for bets. Hey, I think everybody got blood, besides some people that's in hiding. Can you hear me? I can't really hear you, brother.
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, now I can.
What's going on, Art? How you doing?
I'm good. Smoking out my pipe. I'm relaxed. Just ate dinner. I'm having a good time, man. I just can't wait for this fight, dude.
Me neither. I've been wanting to see, Bud in there with top welterweights, so I I'm picking Bud, but I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if Porter wins it, because Porter is a live dog. He's not gonna come in there and lay down. Ain't nobody ever stopped him before. So the narrative that he's gonna get stopped and it stopped early, I can't see that. But like I said on Twitter, if I don't think Bud's gonna KO him, but win over Porter, he gets full credit. I don't know where this narrative comes where people say he's not gonna get full credit for that win because Sean Porter is a top level fighter. He's been in there with everybody. He's seen every style that the top of the welterweight division has to offer. So
This ain't no year dream, little Rocky Fielding.
no,
What you think about Kenny Porter
but Kenny Porter
and
doing what?
his drilling of his 30-year-old son?
They be working, man. They be at it. You know,
He's
if we
like, I don't
see
want you to do what you want to do, Sean. Do what I tell you to do. I'd be like, damn. I mean, damn, sad dad. I get it, but Jesus, old man. At the end of the day,
yeah, but I feel like he listens. He listens to his father. And he knows his father in and out and how his father is. So he responds well to that type of pressure. So what works for you works for you. And like I said, if we see the version of Sean Porter that fought Earl Spence, then it's gonna be a whole different fight than what people are
he got a good
trying to.
coach,
Hmm
a strength and
Trying to.
conditioning coach, Larry Wade.
What everybody in the chat got? Who everybody in the chat got? Y'all got Crawford winning.
You know they got Crawford. This
Yeah,
chick on Facebook, she got Porter. Who you got?
I got Crawford. I want to
Oh, I
see.
was about to say because they saying a lot of Porter fans coming from Texas these days.
Man, they ain't trying to hear none of that, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Like I said, I got Crawford winning because I want to see, EJ versus Bud. But I
You
wouldn't
want to
be
see EJ
surprised.
versus Bud with no tune up for EJ? Because that's what somebody told me today.
Yeah, he said he ready for a no, ready for the big dogs. Put EJ in there
So
with the
you want
big
him straight off
dogs.
the surgery to fight Bud?
Yeah, if that's what he want to do, then I'm behind him all the way. You know, that's that
What you
man's
think about that,
career.
brother Lex?
Nah, come on, bro. Like I'm I'm not trying to see Errol. Like you, here's the thing, right? Everything in boxing is advantages and disadvantages. I think it would be dumb for Errol to go in a fight against potentially the toughest dude at 147 without having a fight before it. So I'm not into that idea personally.
But if he don't, motherfuckers gonna say he ducking, like he don't want that work. And it's just like, man, if he feel like he ready, then that's his decision. I want to see the fight. I'm not gonna make no excuses for him. I believe he's ready. I believe he's been ready. I've been picking EJ since day one to beat Bud. So you know,
But yo, they gonna make excuses for Errol no matter what.
I
That's the
mean,
thing. When listen, I don't know how much you remember Floyd Mayweather's run, as the top dog, but they hate and make excuses for you or against you no matter what you do. And so it's not the best idea to go into a fight of that magnitude not at your best because if you lose, that's an opportunity you never gonna get back. You never gonna get that shot again.
yeah, I see what you're saying, but how do we know he's not at his best? I know it's the
If
eye
if he's
surgery and
at his best
everything.
now, then he not gonna get no worse by taking the extra fight. All he gonna do
You,
is make a little extra money. To be honest,
but like I said,
I think
whatever.
Ugas as that tune up fight, but it was gonna be for that belt.
and
And the
not to
WBA
violate
came with
Ugas,
this
'cause I like
trickery.
Ugas. I think he a good fighter and all, but like I think for Errol coming off that surgery, he's looking like he gained weight again because Errol come down weight that he like to eat. He like to eat barbecue and all type of stuff. So let him get a camp in, see how he looks, and then you go into the butt fight. There's no rush, man. There is no rush in boxing. You take your time and you do things when you're ready.
Make
Yeah, but
AB
the
versus Spence as your comeback fight.
the WBA fucked all that up, man, with
Niggas will
that
still buy
bullshit
that
ass
shit on pay
tournament.
per view.
Shit, I'll
Yeah,
buy it.
but at the end of the day, we all know who beat Pacquiao. That's Ugas. The people know. All the people who watched it on pay per view. The fight did a good gate. Everybody knows Ugas beat Pacquiao, and so and also the dude who runs the ring belts, the Dougie Fisher. He said if Ugas versus Errol happens, he'll put the ring belt on the line. So that's extra incentive.
Yeah, but the
Dougie Fisher
WBA is
owns
on
the
that
ring belt.
bullshit.
It
You
don't matter
lying.
what the WBA do. They don't run boxing.
You right?
Like who do you as a fan pay to see the fights? You pay WBA or do you pay the
I
PBC
come to
or
see the
ESPN for
fight,
the pay per
nigga.
view?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I agree. But I'm just saying, like, I want Ugas versus Spence. But if I get Crawford versus EJ before, I'm fine either way. Like I said, I want to see EJ at his best. I'm not gonna make no excuses for the man. If he believes he's ready, then he gonna make that decision. But whatever
What
way
if
he go,
what
I'm
if
riding
Porter
with him.
win? Would y'all be happy to see Porter versus Spence too?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
As
fine with
much as
me.
I like Porter, I don't even want to see that shit happen. I want to see Bud win this like he's supposed to.
If EJ versus Porter happen too, is shit. Like I
If
feel like
Porter lose, what's the next thing for him after this?
He'll retire.
yeah, he should
Yeah.
retire. He don't got nothing else to
Listen,
prove.
the loser of the fight on Saturday is going to is retiring. And people ain't talking about this for Bud, but at the end of the day, Bud is 34 years old, and the loss to Sean. Where do you go from there? I don't think there's a rematch clause. And if you're Sean, what would you rather do? Rematch Bud or fight Errol for 3 or 4 belts?
Fight EJ.
Right. So I don't think if Bud loses, I think he done. He like
Yeah,
what like there's no even I didn't even think about this till now. There's no appeal for Bud. Like what everybody wants to see Sean. I'm sorry. Everybody wants to see Errol versus Bud. But if Bud lose, that's out the window. He already said he not going to PBC. Top Rank don't have nobody. So what do you do?
He could be a free agent. Like you don't gotta
But
Yeah.
be,
he
you know,
nah, but he said he not going to PBC. So what? All the welterweights is at PBC. So
that don't
that's
mean he
why,
can't
like, I
make.
get he could be a free agent, but who does he
Yeah,
fight?
That
that
don't
doesn't
mean
mean Crawford can make those fights, man.
that
Huh?
don't
Like
mean he can't make those fights. You know, they
you
Canelo's
don't
a
have
free
to fight
agent.
on PBC just to fight a PBC guy. Just to let you know.
He could do it by fight basis. You
Yeah,
know, and I
Nah.
would
Well,
honestly I wouldn't hold
fir-
a loss
there's
to
a couple
Porter against
things. First
Crawford.
of all, he could do a fight by fight or not do a fight by fight, but who is he going to fight? And the reason why this fight is happening, a PBC fighter, Sean Porter versus Bud. Sean Porter was the mandatory. He was going to force the mandatory, and the only reason Top Rank and PBC negotiated is because Top Rank was not going to win that purse bid. PBC would have won the purse bid, and Top Rank would have lost the fight.
Yeah,
PBC did them a favor. Without the mandatory, this fight never happens.
that's
And
true. I
Danny
know that.
Garcia is not no mandatory for the WBO. Keith Thurman's not the mandatory. Ugas isn't the mandatory. Errol's not the mandatory. So who does he fight?
Honestly, I feel like
Especially
Bud.
if he loses.
I don't know if Bud really want to fight EJ now. You know, I just don't see. I like the things I hear from him. It don't sound like a man that really want to fight EJ. I feel like he know the fight's getting closer. I don't feel like I feel like every time he got fight lined up, he calling out EJ, but when he don't got a fight, he not saying nothing. You know, and it's a fight that I want to see. But I'm gonna be real. When have you ever heard EJ say, "I ain't fighting, Bud"? Bud always say, "I ain't. Oh, that fight's behind me." What you mean? You ain't fought nobody at 147. You retire right now, and you're getting to the Hall of Fame. But it's just like, bro, you ain't fight nobody that we want to see you fight. You know, Sean Porter, like you said, we all know Sean Porter had to force the mandatory and force or push for the fight because you can't really force a mandatory. You can't really activate your mandatory. You know, so the narrative that Bud pushed for this fight is bullshit, and they need to stop. Everybody know that shit, or if you don't know, now you know. So I feel like he's okay with having his little deal where he'll get a certain amount of money for a fight, and if he don't agree to an opponent, he'll get an extra 1 million. That's a good deal for him. He don't gotta really, he can fight bums, KO these bums, and have all these people putting him pound and all this other shit. Get all these accolades, and people have make all these excuses for him, you know, and put the blame on everybody else but Bud. You know, when Bud re-signed the Top Rank in 2018, he didn't have to do that. He could have became a free agent. You know, when they say the fight was hot and buzzing, like, but let's be real. If this fight happens, I hope it happens because I'm gonna support it, no matter how much it is. You know, it's still gonna be a big fight. You know, so I just I just want to see the best dudes get in there with the best dudes. And as far as I'm concerned, EJ has been consistent with his plan and everything he said he was going to do. You know, the eye injury and the car accident happened, but it is what it is. You know, so and when people say, "Well, EJ said he's taking the easy route," well, he's taking the fights that he knows can be made without any stipulations, without any problems. You know, because I don't even think Bob Arum will really want to put money up for this fight. You know, if he had to. He only wants to reap in the benefits. So that's shit. What y'all think?
As far as what is specifically,
As far as like, do you really think Bud wants to fight EJ now? Yes, no,
he,
no.
maybe.
I think. Listen, I think that Bud has had difficulties navigating his career because he's been trapped at Top Rank. Top Rank for the last 6 years has promised Bud a Pacquiao fight, but while Pacquiao was at Top Rank, they never wanted to make that fight. And then when Pacquiao left Top Rank, they couldn't make that fight because they had no like control of what Pacquiao did. And so the only reason why Buddy's saying I don't care about the Errol fight now is because he knows all that begging and crying and complaining or whatever you want to call it. I'm not trying to say anything negative about him, but just all that, oh, I want this fight, I want this fight, it don't mean nothing. Bud still doesn't understand that by sticking with Top Rank, he's kind of putting himself on the island. So I just think he's focusing on what's in front of him, which is Sean.
Also, Top Rank tries to like loop their contracts to like basically like enslave fighters. So like if like a fighter wants to get out of like their contract, there's like certain stipulations in there where they have to like do like I guess like extra, things to honor let their contract before it's done. So I would probably say like for Crawford's failure, he decided to think like, okay, well, if I could just get this easy money at Top Rank, just by fighting a bunch of nobodies, then like why not do that instead of me, taking like those bigger risky fights, where he knows he'll get paid big money, but it's like he doesn't want to get his butt whooped.
But here's the thing, right? Like I get what you're saying, but if Bud loses, will Top Rank even want to bring him back?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. I doubt that.
Right, and
So
that's I think this fight is real crazy because I really think whoever loses, we're not really going to see a lot from again afterwards. And I'm not really making a pick on this fight, but I think if Sean loses, he definitely retires because he's doing so much of the ring announces stuff. I think he wants that to be his thing when he's done. If Bud loses, bro, I don't think Top Rank brings him back. And then what? I don't think PBC going to deal with him because he's made it very clear he don't want to go to PBC, and I believe him. So at that point, what does he go to DAZN? Is what Eddie Hearn going to pay him? Like what is he going to do at DAZN? They don't even have fighters at welterweight. And then what? Like I just don't. Am I bugging? Art, what you think? Am I bugging? What does he do if he lose?
Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. But keep on cooking.
Yeah,
My bad.
I think Bud should just hang it up after this.
Yeah,
Because I
I
mean, if
think.
he ain't gonna fight Arrow, then it's like, why the hell are you still fighting? Like, just hang it up. Go hang out with like your family. Like, stop holding up at the welterweight division if you're not going to, be like a real champion and actually fight all these, top opposition.
I feel like a lot of the things that are being said, or on his part, are cap. You know, I feel like he could have made a lot of these fights happen if he really wanted it. You know, Sean Porter had to force him to get in the ring. You know, he's continuously saying, "Well, Earl hasn't done this. Earl hasn't done that. I'm not going to take a B-side split to him." And it's like on paper, for the fact it's factual information that Earl has been moving more weight at the welterweight division. Shit, you've been waiting on him to, fight this guy, and this guy like he said he was, and he's been doing that. But why didn't you speed the process up by fighting? Oh, if he's gonna fight Sean Porter, I'll fight Danny Garcia or whoever had the belt at the time. You know, there's multiple ways that he could have done something to speed up the process of this fight happening. Because, like I said, EJ's never said the fight wasn't gonna happen, but he's been making the moves as he should for his own career and his own legacy. Bud hasn't. So I want, Bud to be in those fights. I want to see Bud in those fights, not because I think he'll lose, but I just want to see a lot of the skills that people say he has, like, is against lower competition. I want to see him show his skill set at the highest level of the welterweight division, because 140 is 140. That happened years ago. And 135, that happened years ago. This is 2021 going on 2022. Like Bob said, Porter was available. He's fighting Porter now. Thurman was available. Shit, Ugas is available. Ugas is a fight that he could have got, that he could have pushed for. But shit, he let Ugas get the Pacquiao fight before he did. And that's crazy, So I want to
Also,
see this. Go ahead, Craig.
yeah. I also wanted to add in on the Thurman situation. Keith Thurman was willing to fight Terrence Crawford when he was a champion. The fact was is that I'm pretty sure Bob Arum, him being him, he just didn't want to pay Keith Thurman the right amount of money when Crawford decided to make the move up to 147. Because Crawford was trying to claim to say like Keith Thurman ducked him, which obviously that wasn't true, because Keith Thurman said, "Well, if they were paying me what I was basically wanting to look for, then Crawford versus him would have been made." So Crawford never even wanted to touch on that at all, and he just wanted to make these excuses to say Keith Thurman was just asking for too much money. But last time I checked, Keith Thurman, he has pay-per-view buys more than Crawford. So like, what makes Crawford basically have a say to say that Keith Thurman is asking for too much money when clearly he is the bigger draw over Crawford?
Shit, you got people saying Crawford versus Porter on Twitter is not a pay-per-view worthy fight. In my opinion, it is. Crawford versus Garcia would be a pay-per-view worthy fight. Crawford versus what's his name? Thurman would be a pay-per-view worthy fight.
Yeah.
So even more than fucking him versus Amir Khan or Victor Postal. Let's be real. I just don't like people make the excuses for Bud. But let's be real, Bud is a grown man. And yeah, Bob, we know who Bob Arum is. It's been put out in the ether what Bob Arum is about. You don't want to pay these dudes to get in there and fight. So
Hey
in my
man,
opinion,
you just don't know Bob Arum's heart. Real shit.
Yeah, but I think
comments
Bob
like that,
Arum deliberately did
That's what that
that.
nigga Bud said. Y'all just don't know Bob Arum's heart.
and comments like that, it's like, bro, come on, man. Like, stop that shit. This man is openly disrespected you on multiple occasions. Like, get away
Yeah.
from this nigga. He don't want what's
Hey,
best for you.
hey, I just got 600 subs. 600 subs, y'all. 600 subs.
Congrats,
Nice.
bro. Shout out.
Your boy's up there, man. In 1 year. Let's keep it going.
Gotta keep it going.
Many more to come, man.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, Bud, he doing his own thing, man. Y'all talking about Bud need to retire if he lose. Then that's what whoo, man, it's tough, ain't it?
I mean, there's
Well,
really nowhere else for
Art.
him to go if he loses.
If he lose, where does he go, bro?
Still push for the EJ fight if he loses, but
Bro,
that's
if
his
EJ,
fault.
EJ is not doing that fight if he lose. There's no way. Because EJ made it clear. He said, I want all the belts, and I'm going in 54.
Bro, so crazy.
Or Bud can move up to 54.
I literally
Yeah.
have
But
like
guess who got all the
back.
fighters at 154?
PBC.
And
I
guess where
think
Bud said, I'm never going? He said, I'm never going to PBC.
I still think Bud can become a free agent though, and you just fight on a fight to fight basis, fight whoever. I think he should have done that a long time ago. He don't gotta
Nah,
be.
but bro, it don't. The thing is, like, that sounds good, but it don't work like that because every weight division has like a line. But like, think about it like a line, right? PBC line right now for 154 is Charlo at the front of the line, and Castano was next, and there's a line of dudes all trying to get to the top of the thing, and so for Bud to go on a 1-to-1 fight deal, like that's cool, but like you're not going to get a spot in line by doing that because there are people who have been waiting, and so they're always going to be more prioritized than the guys at the back of the line.
Yeah, then on top of that, it's like even if Bud let's just say if Bud beats Porter, but he don't want to fight EJ, he still has to give that fight to any up and coming mandatory like Jaron Ennis or Virgil Ortiz, when that time does come for him to defend his title again. So I just think Crawford, he knows that he's in like a catch-22 situation where even if he does beat Porter and he doesn't want to fight Spence, he's still going to be um, basically dealt with like bigger threats coming to him.
Man, I can't wait for Saturday because that's gonna prove say a lot, man.
Yeah.
Really, it really is gonna say a lot, and I feel like that's why everybody's waiting for this fight to happen.
But
We
I feel
wait for
Yo,
like
it to
but let
happen
me.
because it's
Do
like,
y'all
bro,
think? Do y'all
yeah,
think
go ahead.
pay per view is gonna do good or bad?
I think it's gonna do
I
good.
don't think it's gonna do pretty. I think it's gonna do like 200K.
yeah, probably.
I want to say at least like 300,000,
Yeah,
400.
No more than 300,000. You know.
I mean, if it actually becomes like a really good dog fight, then I think a lot of people are gonna buy it.
who on that undercard, y'all?
A bunch of no names.
Yeah, that undercard, I didn't really like it.
A lot of pay
I'm
per view
glad they ain't
undercards are
fucking
garbage.
Berlanga to us to death on the undercard. They save a Berlanga to put him on everybody undercard with a whole bunch of Puerto Rican flags.
That's the crazy
Wait,
part,
what?
man.
You said what?
That's the crazy part,
I
man.
said they gonna put Berlanga on the undercard with a whole bunch
Oh
of Puerto
yeah,
Rican
yeah.
flags.
Oh well, Berlanga's hurt, but
No, he just had surgery.
yeah, I don't think Berlanga's gonna look good in his next fight. I think that injury is gonna play like a factor.
Shit, did he look good in his last fight? In
You
last two
said pay per
fights?
view undercards usually trash. Oh, they gonna get Ali grandson on the fuck. I ain't paying for that shit, bro. I'm sorry. Ali grandson on the fucking undercard. I'm not paying for that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, Ali's grandson is like garbage.
he's fucking trash. He's like the Ollie name is carrying this nigga. He don't even look like Ollie. Fucking
But he fights like a fucking like high schooler.
And they
Michelle
try to have
Rivera
him
looks more like
in the Muhammad
Ali.
Ali pose. I was like, man, I need to cut it out, please,
Top
please
Rank
cut
is
it out.
going. I'm sad that they dragging that man name through the dirt. Like they just fucking drying that shit up, man. It's fucking sad.
Yeah.
But they said EJ. They said EJ was gonna be at the fight.
I hope he is.
Me too. They better give him a chance to get in the
Hey,
ring
but
and beat his
EJ's
shit
such a
off.
real nigga. He'll do that shit.
I hope he don't go.
Why?
Why not?
Because you don't want Top Rank to get no airtime with Bud. Me of
Yup.
Arrow.
Yup.
Yeah.
Because listen, let me tell y'all something. Y'all got way different opinions than me. My opinions are extreme. I look at all this boxing stuff as the art of war. And Errol is in the driver's seat of the whole division. He the cash cow. He got the most belts, and he the big name. And when you go to another man's fight, it gives that fight energy. And if it was me, I want to keep everyone in line. So it's like, nah, you can't get near me until I want to do it. And so while Errol going there would be fun and exciting for like ratings and like Twitter banter and shit like that, I'm thinking like a chess player. I don't care about that. And I don't like Top Rank. So I think Top Rank is sketchy.
I
They
don't
do
like Top Rank
dirty.
either.
I think Top Rank do dirty business. I think they lie, cheat, and steal. And I don't want them to be rewarded off of fighters' back that I like the same way they did Deontay Wilder dirty. So I
Yeah,
hope Errol don't go,
but
but
that's
he might go.
you know that that's their thing though. That whatever fighter is a rival to that fighter, they gon' clout chase that name.
You
They've been clout
say
chasing
you
EJ's
say
name for a
Errol's the
minute.
top dog, right? But what if I say the time is ticking? They soon to give him the Andre Ward treatment. You've been inactive too long. We tired of this shit.
It don't matter. It don't matter because guess what? They could say because you talking about boxing writers, but you know what happens? Errol
And you
goes
know,
on pay per
boxer
view.
writers turn it to casual fans. And
No, they don't though. No, they don't. Because guess what? If that was true, Floyd Mayweather never would have did millions of pay per views, fight after fight after fight after fight. They
I'm
said
not
they,
saying that the hustle's gonna get knocked, but I'm just saying,
but all
like,
that's
the
art. That's all that.
critiques gonna come around and
But
say, "Oh,
the
you hold them."
critiques when you win art, none of that shit matter. The critiques because guess what? Look at Floyd. Every fight that Floyd did, they said, "Oh, this guy is too old. Oh, this guy's too slow. Oh, all Floyd did was run. all Floyd did was wait for him to get whacked. But guess what? Floyd retired undefeated. He made millions and millions of dollars. And now when you look at the history books, none of them critiques make a difference because Floyd is undefeated. And so I'm thinking like a chess player. Because let's look at Wilder Fury. People know Fury a big cheater. People know Fury not a good guy, and everyone know Wilder's that boy. But now when you look in the history books, all we gonna see is Wilder had a draw and 2 losses, and that's all that's gonna matter at the end of the day. None of the critiques. So I don't care about them critiques. If Errol want to play chess, he don't go. If you want to play checkers, go to the fight.
And what's that? What I ain't gonna lie to you, the history books looking like. What if they start saying, "Well, Errol, he was good, but pre-car accident, then you gonna start hearing that type of talk.
I mean that's
Well,
possible,
pre-car
but
accident would have beat Bud or that
but
whatever,
guess what?
bro. You would
Guess
hate
what?
to hear the shit like that, man.
But guess what? Guess what? If Errol don't, if he just fight you guys and move up, guess who got all the fighters and all the belts? PBC.
PBC.
So guess what? If Castano beat Charlo and then Errol beat Castano, then what? Or if Errol fight Erickson Lubin and beat him and then become the mandatory for the WBC, then what? We're not even gonna be talking about Bud no more. This game is all. See, everyone fall for the
But
trap.
I ain't gonna lie to you right now. Bud, to me, he is holding that status as the best fighter. Not saying he's the best fighter at 147, but he's holding the status as the best fighter.
But how? Who put him there?
I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of OB to put him there.
Okay, then that's
But
you said it.
Me myself, out of my own eyes and what I've seen and what he's accomplished, I put him there as well.
Oh, and you put him. Who he beat to get there?
Undisputed.
And who he beat to get undisputed? Can you even name him? Can you name him?
His route at undisputed for 140 was better cop than Canelo Alvarez.
Nah, but okay,
and that's the guy who's getting celebrated.
Canelo route towards undisputed was cap too. But my question is, can you even name any of them dudes?
Victor Posto, Indongo.
Like Tay almost stopped Indongo, bro. If Tay with 8 fights, and that's my dog, you know that. But Tay almost stopped Indongo.
That's true, but you gotta tell yourself too. It's not like Terrence Crawford is the one who fought for those guys that got them those belts, and it's not like he got franchise statuses or
no. You 100%
organizations moved him a certain type of way. He literally played the game how it's supposed to be played and accomplished those by beating those guys, holding those belts.
You 100%.
It's not his fault that those guys were holding those belts, and it's not his concern.
No,
he just got them and snatched them. It wasn't like Canelo, like, oh, you fight and then we gonna throw a WBC belt in the air. In the winter, wink, wink, you're gonna get the belt too. It wasn't like that. It's completely different.
Nah, listen, you 100% right, but at the end of the day, the only people who is writing these narratives is old media, because guess what? In real life, like we in the boxing bubble. When you step outside the boxing bubble, you think people care who Bud beat? No, they not talking about Indongo. They not talking about Postal. They not talking about Jeff Horn and Kell Brook. They don't care. You know what they care about? I got $80 and I'm trying to do some shit on Saturday. Is your fight lit enough for me to sit down with my people and watch that fight? Yes or no? And guess who got that? The dude I like. So if I'm playing chess.
So I tell you what does it prove to you if Bud goes out there and totally outclass Porter? Would you give him recognition? Because I feel like this is the fight that's supposed to give those answer those questions.
I don't think about the game in terms of recognition or not. I think about it in terms of leverage. Bud could smoke Sean Porter in 3 rounds. It don't change the leverage. Errol has more belts. Errol sold more pay-per-views, and Errol sold more expensive tickets. That's what I care about.
Hear this out. He smokes Porter. As a Spence fan, I have to tell you, there's really no man I want to see this guy fight besides the man from Omaha. Wouldn't you agree?
But guess what?
Who really holds the leverage? Because the public's going to be like, yo.
That's the same mentality that got Wilder in shit he got into. So, I mean, if that's the mentality you want to you want to communicate through?
Hold on. You got to further explain. What do you mean by that?
Because Wilder needed a fight to legitimize him because he was feeling pressure from the boxing from old media. And so you basically telling me that because Bud smoked Sean, that Errol should feel some kind of pressure to go fight Bud. But at the
Yeah,
end of the
and you
day,
know,
you
but
you
let's
got to
be
do
real.
things when it makes sense for
You
you.
say you're looking at his chest, right? I'm looking at his chest too. Think about it. You don't think that's a way to get you to step off your game? Because the public, and you know it, the public and the media is going to say, "Oh, Spence, he need to give up," and that's why I'm going into the effect of them saying, "Oh, it's like Andre Ward all over again."
I don't care what I don't care what the public say. I learned that from Floyd. You think
But
Floyd?
like
All
I
them damn
said, do you
people said
think are
Floyd
they
said.
learning this from Floyd though? These are completely different people. Are they? Are they learning this from Floyd?
But if they didn't, they should be. Because guess what? Floyd, listen, if the public mattered and if old media mattered, Floyd would be broke. Floyd would have 3 losses, one to Castillo, one to Maidana, and one maybe against Pacquiao. He wouldn't have made millions. He wouldn't even be considered a top pound for pound, top 50 fighter. And guess what? The public don't matter, and old media don't matter. What matters is them record books and them checkbooks. So if listen, Errol might not have learned from Floyd, but if he didn't, that's on him. He gonna have
And
to live with that.
I like Arrow a lot, but I'm just saying, bro, it's like Arrow. I feel like his mentality is like he said, I don't want no tune ups. I want da 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 right away, type shit. You don't feel like he's gonna catch the bait from the public
He
and the
might.
media?
If he do, that's unfortunate. Wait, listen. From what I'm learning in this sport of boxing, when you get pressured into doing things, it is when you're vulnerable. You're vulnerable when you get pressured. You should do things at your time at all times. Look at Bud. You say that people say that Errol got to do this and that, but Bud has had 4 or 5 really bad fights at 147, and no one complains. Why is that? He fought Amir Khan, who was washed. He fought Jose Benavidez with a bullet in his leg. He fought Kell Brook, who was washed. He fought Jeff Warren, who was weight drained, and Mean Machine, who never even been in he been in 112 rounder.
But look how he beat him.
But
Look how he
how he beat him? Them dudes ain't done
stopped
nothing.
all those guys.
Them dudes
Green
ain't done
Beans
nothing. None
isn't
of them
that
dudes.
good of
All
a
them dudes is
fighter.
washed or trash.
I'm just saying, like, think about it. Some fighters, you put them in there with these guys, they would still be going all 12s and having good performances on them and all types of shit. You never know, but
That's what the
actually
Triple
But
looking
G
at the guys
treatment.
Crawford fought, they all look like shit after.
Cause they was looking like shit before they fought him too.
But
What you mean after?
we'll
hey,
see. We'll see, man. I really like Terrence Crawford's style. He has a great fighting style. As you can see, man, the guy's a switch hitter,
I'm
great
I'm
jab, and he
I'm not
knows
trying
how
to
to
dump
finish
on
the
Bud.
fight. I don't know, man. If he go out here and finish Porter, psh, what can a nigga really say about Bud then?
I'm not trying. I'm not saying Bud is weak though. That's not the. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I don't trust Top Rank, and if I'm speaking for someone who I trust PBC because PBC never gave me a reason not to trust them, and I won't. I don't want to see a fighter that I like and trust because I like Bud too, but I don't trust Top Rank. I don't want to see a fighter I like and trust go into the Lions Den defenseless again. We seen it with Wilder and it was dumb and stupid. And it was all preventable. But the reason why he got caught is because he felt that pressure from old media and the public, and look what it got him. And
Well,
he could have played that whole thing all the way differently, and he would
Can
have been
you
fine.
explain like how you think he should have done that?
That's what I'm on. Ain't about Bud. Like if because guess what? If Bud came to PBC and we could just get a fair fight on a level playing field with no griminess, I would be perfectly comfortable with that.
you don't think Bud will come to PBC? I
No,
feel
I know
like
for a fact he
I
won't.
honestly, you know what?
he don't
I
got to
don't
I
think
come to
he,
honestly believe.
PBC.
I don't think he's going to go
Check this
either.
out. Check this out. When I was listening to that virtual press conference, right, with Bob Arrow, Bob Arum was speaking very highly of the PBC, and I was like, wow. I've never really heard this from Bub. Like he was like, yeah, the good folks at the PBC, they did this. We had excellent business together. Da 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 da. Which makes me think, like, man, okay, they gave him this Porter versus Bud fight. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a little another joint venture and made Bud versus Arrow. It's not like they can't make
Man,
something happen. They showed
Art,
us with the
This
Wilder
was
versus Fury.
are you
if
falling for the trick, bro?
if the
You think,
belt
but
never
you don't
ordered
think
this
you
fight,
think
that would
Bob
never
Arum,
happen.
who just let Tyson Fury walk into a Wilder fight with some bricks in his gloves,
Yeah.
you think he gonna say fuck PBC? He gonna say no, I love them. They're such great partners. I want to make more fights with them. Oh, guess what? Top Rank don't got no pay-per-view fighters. They don't sell no tickets. They don't have no lit television ratings. So what you think they're gonna say? FPBC? No, they need PBC, bro. They are leeches. A
Yeah,
leech need a host.
they'll
So
let
yeah,
Bud they'll let Bud walk over there for this fucking fight. I feel
no,
like they let Bob
nah,
Top Rank get this Bud versus Porter.
They won't, because let me tell you why they won't.
Why?
Because if PBC will do a big ass pay per view and they won't get no money off it. Any big ass pay per view that involves a Top Rank fighter and a PBC fighter, Top Rank gonna want some money for that. So they not if it's not a joint pay per view, it ain't happening.
Shit gotta do a
But this
million.
is Bud's last. This is Bud's last fight at
Wilder
Top
Fury
Rank, though.
didn't. I don't know if that did a million. They still did it. Any
This is
joint pay.
Bud's.
Listen, Top Rank don't make no money, bro. They don't.
This
Any
is
Okay.
Bud's last
any
fight at
big fight
Top Rank, though.
that involves a PBC fighter and a Top Rank fighter, they want that so they can get money at a lower rate, because they're not gonna have to pay two fighters. They're not gonna have to promote like Wilder Fury 3. They didn't do no all access for that. That was all PBC was doing all that work. They was putting commercials on football games and stuff like that. Top Rank wasn't doing no work, bro. They cheap.
They didn't even
I'm just
want to
keeping it
do.
real.
They didn't even
Like
want to do a press
we
conference
can't
for
fall for these
one
tricks
of
of
those
like,
fights.
yeah, this is just a sport and the best fight the best, and we want to see the good things happen. It don't work like that, because the people who make the decisions in the sport don't think like that. Only people thinking like that is PBC. You know what Top Rank think about? How can we cheat this motherfucker? How can we slip some shit in his drink so he dizzy and get knocked the fuck out? How can we put some shit in this man's glove so he get knocked out all crazy? How can we rig a purse bid so we get the outcome that we want? They don't care about none of that, bro. All they care about is what they get. That's it.
But
So
look at
I'm not
this.
playing their game. Please.
Top Rank the
This
machine.
Top Rank
if
is the
this
machine. That's a fact. And
this is Bud's last fight
I'm
at
not here
Top Rank,
to
though.
play the machine game.
This
That's
might
why I
this
love PBC, because PBC created a fair playing field for anyone who plays that works with them. PBC don't be cutting dudes after one loss. PBC
yeah,
don't be setting fighters up to lose. PBC don't be benching fighters for 2,
Well,
3, 4 years.
well,
This
I was gonna basically counter with that to say that there has been certain instances where some PBC fighters haven't been treated fairly with their fighting contracts. So
Wait, who?
I probably
Bronner,
wait, wait.
Cesar.
Hold on. Can you please not cut me off?
No, I'm
Um,
not gonna cut you off. I'm letting you go.
no. It's the other guy, but
yeah, go ahead.
Did I cut it off?
I was gonna say that
Oh, shit,
one
my
fighter.
bad.
That one fighter on PBC that used to fight on the network. I think his name was Carlos Balderas, right? When he lost to that one other Mexican fighter, I think his name was like
It was Rene Jerome.
yeah. So when Carlos lost to him, I believe he said that he got cut off from PBC because Al Heyman didn't want to do any more fights with them. So that's when.
That's not true. That's not true. Like I have information on what happened, but
Okay.
no, and I because I heard that he said that, and I'm not going, like, I don't want to put too much info out there, but they got out of their contract basically, and
Okay.
it wasn't no bad blood. Like, things happen, but like, they wanted out and they got out. And sometimes that happens. Like,
Yeah.
when a fighter want to leave PBC, they say, okay, go ahead, get your money. Like, look at Danny Jacobs was able to go to DAZN. Balderas was able to go to Top Rank. Jamel Herring was able to go to Top Rank. What's the boy name? Eubank. He was able to go to Frank Warren and them.
Yep.
When a PBC fighter want to leave, they just say, "All right, well, we wish you luck, bro. Go ahead." When
Yeah,
when dude
those are
want to
good
leave Top Rank,
examples.
they say, "Nah, you can't fight. You got to sit on the sideline for 3 years." What's cool
Mike,
with that? That's not cool.
that was
Like,
like
bro,
with
these
Mikey.
guys lay their lives on the line. They don't make a whole lot of money unless you like the top dudes, and you sit a guy out for 3 years because you mad that they want a better situation for themselves. That's corny,
Who's
bro. I can't
talking right
support
now?
that.
Who's that? Dion?
I can't. And Art, that's why I'm like, I know people probably listening, like, yo, damn, he mad serious and mad militant. But ultimately, bro, like, I know what we fighting against. And
Who
when
is
I
this
say
talking?
we,
This
I just
Beehive
mean
talking?
people who want to see a good
Nah, it's
sport.
Lex.
Lex.
Huh?
This who?
Say it again.
I was asking who was talking right now.
All right, you can hear me?
Yeah, that's Lex.
Well,
He
who's
can't hear
typing?
me, huh?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Wait, who? Why you said it's me? Someone asked that in the question bar or something?
Yeah,
Oh. Yeah, bro. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not about. I just want to see a good, clean, fair, healthy, and respectful sport. And Top Rank run this shit like some gangsters. And I'm not with that, bro.
because Bob Arum know all these niggas and he don't give a fuck.
And that's why, like, y'all talking about Arrow versus Bud, I don't trust that fight will be fair. Why would I think that fight gonna be fair when I just seen Tyson Fury clap Wilder face up with a brick in his glove in the second fight, and in the third fight they let that man fake Corona so he could do a whole bunch of steroids and come back and beat the piss out of Wilder. I'm not with that. That's not fair. That's not even a fair fight. If Fury could beat that man fair and square, I'd love to see it, bro. Because I'm just about fairness, equality, and an even playing field. They rigged the whole thing, so it's unfair. So if y'all want to play that game, I see what y'all do, and I could articulate. I could articulate it on my side. Errol, don't go to the fight so they can put you on camera and say, "Oh, if Bud Crawford wins, you're gonna fight him next," and then there's gonna be mad pressure for you to fight him next. You haven't been in the ring for mad long. We don't even know if your eye is working properly. We don't know anything. So why would you go into the hardest fight of your career and we don't even know if you're working properly? That's crazy.
Yeah, the
Well, I mean,
an eye injury is like one of the worst injuries you can have in boxing because that shit like doesn't get like a shoulder. You fuck up your shoulder, okay, you rehab, you're out for 6 months. You come back, it's all right. The eye is going to cause him problems for the rest of his career.
Yeah, it's like you don't get the surgery to go back and do the shit that caused the surgery.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way
And
of
then Pete,
saying it.
right? Pete,
yeah,
y'all
but
saying
but
y'all saying that.
EJ,
My bad, bro. My bad. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, I was just gonna say EJ had stated to say that his eye was feeling better. So, I mean, if he didn't feel confident enough to say that his eye wasn't feeling so much better after the surgery, then I'm pretty sure Errol Spence basically.
But Terrence Crawford isn't punching
Bro,
him in the eye, though.
I just feel like if we ever get that fight, we're gonna hear the
That's an excuse.
man.
If he's good enough to
Terrence
fight
Crawford
Ugas,
would have
he's good enough to fight
lost
Crawford.
if Errol Spence didn't
Yeah,
get in
but
this
Errol
car
Spence
accident.
said that he'll be ready
Look,
back in
And
like
this,
what?
he was trying to fight. He was trying to fight Ugas in February. If he's healed up enough to fight
But
Ugas,
y'all
he's healed
y'all
up
don't
enough to
y'all
fight
what
Crawford.
y'all
it's a
sleeping
torn.
on is
It's a
this,
torn
bro.
retina.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
a
a fully detached retina. It's
retina.
just
It's a
a
torn retina. So
Do y'all
But
think
Pete,
that
Pete, Pete,
the Errol
y'all,
Spence that beat Danny Garcia can beat Bud Crawford?
I don't think any Spence could beat Crawford.
I think that Spence can
that's
beat Terrence
bullshit.
Crawford. He looked really good in that
Spence
fight,
will
in
beat.
my opinion.
I
Spence will
think
beat
Spence
Bud.
would destroy Crawford.
Yeah, I
Hands
think
down.
he gonna destroy. He gonna destroy Bud when they fight.
I don't think anybody can just destroy Bud. Like, regardless if you think he's pound for pound
He
number
didn't
one,
even
pound for pound
destroy
number two.
Mikey. Come on, that's cap.
Nigga, I've never
He threw
even
1,000
seen
punches
Bud
on his
like
ass, man. What you
Adrian
talking
completely
Broner
about?
just
can beat
like.
Bud.
And didn't even hurt his feelings.
Wait, what? Who just said Adrian Broner can beat Bud?
Hey, I wanted to
Yeah,
see that
dude.
fight. I swear I wanted to
Bro,
see that fight.
did you know that Terrence actually ducked Broner back at 140? Like seriously, he ducked Broner at 140, man.
What year?
nah, I don't think because at the end of the
Um.
day, they was on different things. You know, it's Top Rank at PBC. Those are always gonna be hard, bro. It's
Oh
always
Yeah,
yeah,
but we can't use that. We
yeah.
can't just use that as a thing,
it's
though.
always gonna be hard. Wait, real quick, I want to say this about
I mean,
Errol.
AB could have went to Top Rank to say, hey, well, if you could make this fight between me and Bud, and then he could probably
Well, AB shouldn't be the one going to
peep
them because
this.
AB was way bigger.
But no. Listen. Here's what y'all got to understand. If you fight on top rank, Bob Arum takes 30% of your money no matter who you are, no matter how big or how small you are. If you fight on PBC, Al Heyman don't do that, bro. But
Oh
so
yeah.
what did you like just logically, if you're making millions of dollars, you want to just give Bob Arum 30% of that and he ain't
No,
do
fuck
nothing?
that.
Right, exactly. Or Al Heyman.
But
I don't know what Al
let's
Heyman's business structure is, but I'm pretty sure you just pay him a flat fee.
let's be
So
real.
what
That's probably why the fight ain't been made yet,
Well,
because Bud don't want to give him all that money. You know.
no, it don't get made because Bud don't want to go to PBC.
Well,
Bud think,
I think it's been several issues. It's definitely not just the PBC thing. Clearly, the plan was, okay, Spence will get the other belts because the fights are always bigger if it's undisputed and they're both undefeated. So it was like Spence's plan was, let me beat these other champions, get 3 belts, and then that way I'll take 50-50 splits in these fights, and then that way when I go to Terrence Crawford and I have all the leverage, I can get a 60-40 split, and it can be like in my favor. Because even if Terrence was in PBC, they wouldn't make that fight until I think it was for all the belts, in my opinion.
And let's be real, EJ was always gonna have all the leverage because he was doing the heavier lifting, and that was on pay-per-view. You know, he's
Yeah,
been
but
bringing in more
how much
numbers.
how much bigger is Terrence Crawford than Errol Spence? Is it enough to just because he was talking 70-30? Like it's not that big.
you
It's
mean
really
the
not
other way
that big.
around, right?
What do you mean?
No, you said
Earl,
how much bigger is Terrence Crawford than Errol?
No,
Earl's
yeah,
bigger
sorry.
than
I mean the other way around. Sorry. How much bigger is Errol Spence? Errol Spence is bigger, right? But
yeah,
is it
but
enough to justify
he didn't
like
say
this
70-30. He said 60-40. 60-40 is still on the
out
table.
at the zone when he was at the well, maybe the 70-30 is just a
He
ploy
did
to
say
like negotiate.
70-30.
I
Yes,
mean,
he did.
That's it. This
I
70-30
think
is
at the
not
end
what
of the
he's
day,
saying.
bro,
He did say 70-30.
60-40
It don't
is
matter. He
pretty
said
much
60-40 is the deal. That's the deal that they're gonna make.
60-40 is pretty much the going rate for an A side and a B side. I think if you look at Pacquiao Mayweather, it was 60-40.
Yeah.
Those are
But
both
that
mega.
took
That was
5
both mega stars. You can't use that as comparison.
and if we look at it, Floyd had done pay-per-view with his pay-per-view with Canelo was 2.2 million, right?
Yeah,
Pacquiao had never even touched 2 million. He's always been around million. So Floyd has doubled his numbers and they still did 60-40. Like it's just out of
That's the point.
like
Yeah, it's just I think
it's just like a respect
60-40
thing. Like it
is
has to
just
be
the
60-40.
yeah, it's just that is the going rate for A and a B side fight. Unless you agree to like 50-50. Even peep this. Wilder Fury, the third one was 60-40. The second one was 50-50, and the winner gets 60-40.
Yeah, I
That
like those. That sounds. The only difference, the only fight in history that I've seen that's been different was when Roy Jones fought James Toney. In their deal, it was whoever wins gets 60%, and the loser gets 40. And that's the only option that could get. But there's no way in hell that's happening in today's age. And Terrence is a proud guy. He's not gonna. In my opinion, he ain't accepting no 60-40. He wants 50-50.
he's
yeah, he's
not, and
done
that's a
wanting to do
big problem
50-50.
because at the end of the day, the only thing you could negotiate off of is tangible things. What tangible is gate, pay-per-view sales, and TV ratings. And Errol has won at every single one of those things.
It's not even that. My thing is, you need Earl more than he needs you. So if you really truly want that fight, you bend the knee. He offer you 60-40, take it.
Yeah, just and and then
What
once you
what
finish,
y'all think
if
about
there's no rematch clause, then you can dictate what happens after that fight. And Bud's not getting any younger; he's 34, so
what y'all
time is
think about,
against him.
not to stir off topic, but what y'all think about Canelo's numbers?
I
Crazy!
think
I
it was
didn't I, I, di-
They
I
good.
didn't think it would do that well. I thought it was going to do
Me either.
500K
I
at
did.
max.
I was thinking like 400.
Yeah,
yeah. I was thinking like those numbers were fake.
Nah, I can believe it because of Canelo.
yeah. I
It's
guess
Do y'all
it's
do y'all
Canelo, bro.
consider that doing better for Canelo or doing worse?
that's great. They said that
It's,
they were
it's good. It's
better.
his first pay-per-view back, so it's gonna
I,
be,
I wouldn't
you
even
know.
say it's
Pretty
because of the
good.
first pay per view. I think people comparing it to his last pay per view, but that was GGG. GGG was well
Well,
known
actually, no,
than Plant.
because Canelo had pay per view for Caleb Smith, and DAZN never posted those numbers yet.
But that's like
It
half
was
that's half
it wasn't pay
subscription,
per view
half pay
for
per view.
America. We're talking about American pay per view.
No,
Oh,
no, you could
okay.
actually no, he's right. You could get Callum Smith versus Canelo pay per view, and they would give you 4 months of DAZN. So you would buy the
That's
pay
not
per
really
view.
that's really a subscription though.
Yeah, but you could get it on your TV.
Yeah, but they
basically, is what I'm
said
saying.
they
So it's
listed
the
as a
same.
pay-per-view.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
say there was a pay-per-view. They don't post their pay-per-view numbers. They
I
never do.
consider
they-
a pay per view that once I buy it, the fighter gets a share of my buy money. If I bought the subscription for the DAZN, Canelo didn't see none of that money, so I don't consider it a pay per view.
Hey,
It
PBC
don't really
killing
matter
it,
what
nigga.
you
I'm going to
consider it.
that
If they
David
say it's a
Morrell fight.
pay-per-view, then it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's gonna be lit, bro.
Hey, you know the nigga Deuce from Boxing Twitter was out there last time. I'm pretty sure he gonna pull up to this one.
Dave Morrell, he's the Cuban guy at 168.
Yeah, he was lit, man.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen
he's
him
good.
fight.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. David Morrell probably got the best style to beat Canelo. He just so young, bro. He need more
You know,
maturity.
Dante Boxing Nation said he picked David Morrell to beat Canelo.
He,
No,
for
I don't agree
reference
with
sake,
that,
though,
but
Dante's Boxing Nation also said that Canelo is afraid of Usman, so we need to marginalize what this guy says.
He said Boots can move up and beat Canelo.
I think Kamaru Usman would
I feel
defeat
like in
Canelo.
wait,
a few years,
who is
Boots
that?
would be able to.
Is that Haven's Planet?
Nah,
Who me? Oh no.
Nah, who just said he need to marginalize what Dante said? Who is that?
I said that. Maybe that was the wrong wording.
No.
Now, what's your
I'm
name?
not mad at what you said. I'm just saying, who are you though? What's your name? Are you on Twitter?
Yeah,
What's your Twitter?
it's Sam_342.
Oh, I thought you were someone different though. That's all.
oh, you thought it.
Oh,
Nah,
I know Lex. Now it's coming to me. I'm out Twitter Lex. This is that Twitter Lex dude. Okay, now I know who you are.
Yeah. Nah, bro, because he kind of sound like the boy Haman's Planet. Like I only heard him talk one time, but he kind of sound like him a little bit.
Yeah.
my dude D Hive said we should check out Chris M. Billy at 168. I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't know
Oh,
who that is either.
I know him. He's that black kid that's from France. He fought on a Ring City USA fight card. Like I believe he
Is
was
he
on.
good?
Yes, he good.
He's
All right.
he's a good puncher, but as far as boxing IQ goes, he's really not that good at it. But he definitely has great inside fighting. He has a lot of power in his punches.
How many fights he got?
I believe he is. I want to say 22-0.
Who you with? Top rank?
Now
don't
you
think
said
so.
Ring City, so he might be with a
Yeah,
Frank
he might be
Warren.
on some like free agent type ish.
Yeah, Frank
Yeah,
Warren
I
shit.
want to say he's a free agent because he's definitely not like a signed fighter. Take a look at him. He's a
Okay.
pretty good fighter.
I came in late. So how do you guys think Bud versus Porter is going to end? Like, you guys picking stoppage or just regular
No,
decision?
he ain't stopping Porter. He's not stopping him. It's going to be a decision.
I
He's
think he's
stopping-
gonna outclass
He
Porter.
ain't stopping
Porter.
He's
Porter.
gonna
He
get
ain't
touched
stopping
up
He's-
in
Porter.
one
he's
of them
gonna-
rounds.
I
He ain't
told
stopping
y'all
Porter.
Canelo's gonna stop Plant. I told y'all he's gonna stop Porter.
Porter ain't playing. Porter been in there with everybody, so he know every style.
I know. It's always the first time to get stopped.
I actually
It
didn't.
ain't
I
gonna
didn't
be
think.
this time though.
I didn't think Canelo was going to stop Plant because we had never really seen him hurt and stuff. But yeah, that
Man,
KO came out of nowhere.
Porter, if Bud fucking stopped Porter, Top Rank gonna be trying to promote Spence versus
But I
fucking
don't
Crawford,
like
black
y'all.
on black crime.
Yeah, and that's my
Straight
thing.
up.
Art. That's why I'm not even really into this fight. We seen what they just did to Wilder, bro. I don't have no trust for Top Rank. Like y'all, I don't know what everyone in here thinks about Wilder and Fury, but I think there was a lot of foul play that happened.
Duh, nigga.
Yeah,
I've never
it's
heard.
done. Yeah,
I've
it's
never
done.
I
heard the
know how you
commission
feel, Art,
tells.
because we talk plenty, but I don't know everyone in this group that's talking right
I
now.
know
What
it
I'm
was some
saying,
foul play in all three fights. I know it was some
Bro,
foul
they
play in all three fights.
told Wilder team that no matter what y'all say, all these gloves are approved.
Yeah, they said
yeah.
that.
So that's why, like, people speculating about Sean Porter versus Bud. Why do y'all think it's gonna be fair? Is my question to y'all. Why should I ever trust Top Rank again?
Well, you could
I
make an
mean,
argument
my
though
thing
that
is, why
whenever you
stop
go
at
to
Top Rank? Why don't we think of Eddie Hearn's group like that? Why don't we think of Frank Warren's like that? What's the
I
point
do.
of watching boxing?
I do think of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren like that because guess what? When Dillian White fought Povetkin, they said his gloves was cheated. And when White fought Povetkin in a rematch, Povetkin was in there looking drunk before a punch even got thrown.
He had COVID.
Yeah.
So what you said, it, bro, is valid. Trust me, bro. I don't trust. The only platform I trust in this shit is PBC, bro. And it's not.
I don't need to trust PBC like that. And I like PBC, but the way they did that Plant Canelo fucking
What about when
commentary and shit in the
PBC?
store cards.
Don't forget
Wait,
about
wait,
how
wait,
they did Fox. They let Fox get cheated on their
Yeah,
platform.
Fox, and
So
it's just
fuck
like
it. We ain't watching
wait.
PBC either.
Wait, but
Wait.
listen to this.
You
Listen to
said
this
the
though
way
too.
they did the Canelo Plant. What?
the fucking card, the fucking commentary. It was dick sucking Canelo the whole fight. He was
But
getting
that's
outboxed.
but listen. My thing is this, right? You gonna have announcers that do shit like that. I don't care about that. All that I want is I want to know that there's no glove manipulation. There's no drugs being put in people's drinks.
That's
There's
not the only
no.
way people get cheated though. And I
Dude,
like
they
PBC and I
literally,
rock with
bro,
Al Heyman.
that
Yeah, but I'm
shit with
just
the
saying.
Maestro shit was crazy because bro, I was literally front row watching it. I'm like, man, what's taking this fight so long? Why the fight not going on?
But that
And then my dude Felix texted me, was like, yo, you see that shit with the gloves? I gotta look up. I'm like, yo, these niggas is really fucking with the glove. And then come to find out he's trying to go in there with skin
the
gloves.
thing with the Maestri situation though is
Yeah.
that wasn't PBC though. That was a WBA thing. Listen, I'll break that whole thing down real quick for y'all.
Yeah, but we could always subcategorize. So we could say that Fury cheated Wilder and wasn't really top rank, or when someone goes to PBC and they get a decision that
But okay,
maybe they should
so okay,
fight.
if it was Fury but not top rank, then how come Margarito cheated Cotto? How come Billy Resto cheated I don't know, why did Louis
It was
Resto cheat
Lewis
Billy
Phantom.
Collins? Why did Aaron Pryor cheat what's the boy name?
It's the I know what you're talking about, where he drank the black.
Yeah,
the black bottle.
why all them fights is top rank? Why all these top rank fights got cheating decade after decade after decade after decade after decade? Why all these cheats happen to
Well,
top
Top Rank was also like the only promoter at that time. It was him and Don. So either way, you're getting screwed somehow.
Yeah, how about this? Why are the FBI rating Top Rank's office? Why all this stuff happened to Top Rank? Where the FBI at in PPC office?
No, I'm not saying that. The Top Rank is Saints and at PBC. I'm just saying that we all know that in the sport of boxing, shit ain't really fair, and that's messed up, and it is what it is until we get some intervention by higher figures. But it's not gonna. It should. Us as fans, we can't be like, okay, well, I don't really want to see this fight because I'm scared of thing. It's just like, okay, this is just something we gotta deal with.
Y'all cannot do that. What I do?
Yeah.
If it's a top ranked fight, I say whatever. And if it's a PBC fight, I say I'm interested.
Are you gonna buy the Crawford Porter pay-per-view?
No, I'm not gonna buy it.
I'm the total opposite. I like top ranked fights. I don't really like PBC fights that much.
I ain't telling you what to do.
Yeah, we're just speaking.
No, I'm just saying I can see where you come from because I'm the total opposite. I literally don't watch Showtime at all.
I don't really care. I watch whatever because there's always going to be moments where Showtime wasn't doing that well and the Zone had a period where they were doing good. Okay, fuck it, I'm going to watch the Zone. PBC is doing good, and then the other two aren't, and then the Zone's going through this cold period where they're just matching all their fighters with UK journeymen. Okay, I'm not watching that shit. I'll watch PBC. So I just watch whatever fights I think are the most competitive.
I ain't watched the Zone like that either because my problem with the Zone, bro, at the end of the day, like I said, I want to see competitive and fair fights. As competitive and as fair as we could get. The Zone was giving us Triple G versus Steve Rolls. Too much of that, bro. I'm not here for that.
I think they've realized the error and their ways of giving Triple G $10 million to fight whoever the hell he wants to the point. But that's crazy, is that a whole network can't even force their fighter, who their fighter's going to fight. They can't even make Triple G fight Andrade. And they're saying, no, we don't want the Murata fight. And he goes, F you, taking my 10 mil, I'm fighting Murata. So it's crazy. I don't know, what can we do in these situations? What can the networks do to force this?
You can't blame the networks for that. The fighter don't want to fight. The fighter don't want to fight.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Nah, but you can blame the networks because the networks, let's look at DAZN and Triple G, for example, right? The network, DAZN, wanted Triple G versus Canelo 3. And so to try to make that happen, they gave Triple G as many easy fights as possible, Meanwhile, Demetrius Andrade can't get a fight for shit, bro, and that's whack because. Listen, put them in the ring, and if Triple G beats him, I'm perfectly fine with that. But at least do it. They wasn't doing nothing for Boo Boo because they don't
if you
care
listen
about
to
him.
Demetrius Andre, he says the zone push for that fight every time GG goes out. So you can't blame the zone. If GG don't want to fight him, GG not gonna fight him. Just like on
that's
PBC.
true.
But that's
Keith Thurman didn't want to fight Earl Spence, so
that's
Keith
a good
Thurman
example.
did not fight Earl Spence.
But bro, do you know how that works? The people that have the network deal, they say, listen, you can fight 1 to 3 guys. That's why Errol had to fight, or that's why Pacquiao had to fight Errol. It goes like this: you can fight this guy, this guy, this guy. Who you gonna take? We're not gonna prove nothing else. But guess what? When it comes to Triple G, they say you can fight anyone. You could go fight Murata. That's not even good for their business, bro. Like you think Triple G versus Murata?
Yes, it is.
Based on what?
Murata's numbers. The dude does fucking 30 million views. What are you talking about?
30 million views in Japan, bro.
That's it. The zone has fucking rights in Japan. That does numbers.
Yeah, and that's not doing no numbers here.
It don't matter if it's doing numbers here. Have you not paid attention to the zone? They ventured outside of USA. They have rights in Japan.
The problem with the zone
222 different countries.
The problem with the zone
paid no matter where
so since you think so, what does Boo Boo Andrade versus Quigley do? Does that do numbers?
I don't know. I don't know Quigley like that.
You don't even know the dude who he fighting. So what is we talking about numbers?
What does that have to do with GGG and Murata though?
The fact is,
he was answering your question about what does it do for Murata, but the question is the problem with the zone and stuff like that is that all their numbers are a secret, so we don't even know what the hell is going on. Really,
bro, Boo Boo fight this Friday, dog. Like, and I'm not saying this as like a diss or anything, but I'm just saying like they not even promoting. It's just a waste. Like I'm not supporting something that's so wasteful for boxing. It's whack, bro.
My thing is, I don't see why people care about the numbers so much when Showtime consistently does shit numbers.
Showtime puts on terrific fights at every single division.
I know, but we talking about numbers. Numbers are always shit.
No, I'm talking about good fights. Is what I'm talking about. But you talking about Triple G versus Murata. What about Triple G versus Steve Rolls or Triple G versus Mera? None of them fights was in Japan. The fights was in America, and it was garbage.
Well, one is a mandatory, so I assume that in the contracts that they have to. No, sorry, Derevchenko was a mandatory. Actually, no, I think both of them were. Derevchenko and
both were mandatories.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that all champions in their contracts say that you still have to pay. Like, you can't just say my mandatory shit and then not pay me. So they still have to get that one. And then the Steve Rolls, like you were saying, they thought that they were going to get the Canelo fight.
Canelo third fight. Remember, that's what is the reason that
that's the whole reason that they got Triple
G.
And that's what I've been said though.
Yeah.
We come all the way around to what I said originally, which is they kept Triple G fresh so they could make Triple G Canelo 3, but it never happened. Even Canelo said in his contract, I don't want to fight Triple G. If I fight Triple G, y'all got to give me $60 million.
But they were assuming because they had talks with Oscar that they thought that fight was going to happen.
Yeah, that's what Oscar had gave them rights for Canelo's fights. Canelo didn't know that they had the right to veto a fight or approve a fight.
And that's why Canelo left.
Yeah, exactly. But we can't say that it's the network then because they're trying to make the fight. It's just that the fighter at the end says no.
But there's plenty of other fights. Like why they ain't make JoJo Diaz versus Tevin Farmer 2? Why they ain't make
Tevin Farmer pulled out?
Tevin Farmer definitely didn't pull out. That's
yes, go to his Twitter, bro. The dude doing he's doing investing in real estate and shit like that. The dude don't want to fight no more.
He didn't, bro. The pandemic happened and they jerked him out his contract. That's what happened.
He had a rematch. If he literally could have did the same shit fucking Wilder did to Fury. Did he do that?
Yeah, there was no arbitration.
No, he didn't do it
because he didn't want to, bro. He doesn't want to fight no more.
No, he does want to fight, but I guess he was assuming.
He with DeBella. He trying to get out his DeBella deal, man.
I think
I forgot he was still with DeBella.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking that he wanted that fight, and he just didn't. He assumed that even though it was just because of COVID, that they would still just make the fight happen.
I've never liked DeBella, but the fighters never seem to complain about him. I don't know why.
Bro, listen, every fighter he has trying to leave. O'Shaquie Foster trying to leave. Tevin Farmer trying to leave. Regis Prograis just left.
Right. Wilder left
like
too.
Well, I think he was forced to leave Wilder. I think that's
I think Wilder
was
also
never his promoter.
He
was his promoter.
Shelly Fink is manager. Shelly Fink is the manager. DeBella was
Wilder's
the
team
promoter.
used to be hella big. He had Shelly Finkel, he had Al, and he had Lou. So what? And
Yeah.
JD.
But
He-
Lou ain't have paperwork. Like Lou was Wilder's promoter the same way Tom Brown is like Caleb Plant's promoter. It's not real like that.
Or is it like,
Real
is it kind of like how Leonard will kind of associate himself with PBC fighters? Not saying that he's like,
Nah,
but
he's a PBC worker. That's kind of what
that's kind of what.
that's kind of like what Tom Brown and Lou DiBella was. They was kind of promoters for PBC. Because I remember Lou DiBella, he was putting on Charlo fights, he was putting on Wilder fights and shit like that. And they just kicked his ass off the network.
Yeah, because he had no fucking contractual rights to take Wilder down at the zone. He did some stupid shit and got the boot, and he never worked with PBC ever again for doing some dumb shit. Yeah, bro, just listen, man. I ain't telling y'all what to do. I've talked to Artman about this a lot. I'm not supporting the foul, bro.
So if Crawford Porter was PBC, you would pay for the PBC pay-per-view, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Just wanted
100%. And I'm not saying it's a bad fight. It's a good fight. But Top Rank will never get any dollar from me.
Okay.
Just for all the even for the fact that, like,
Did you buy the Wilder Fury fights?
I bought the second one and the first one.
That was Top Ranks too.
That was PBC fight. That Top Rank clout chased themselves into. But that fight for me, the second fight started my
Your conspiracy theory. I mean your suspicion.
No, it ain't a conspiracy theory.
Your suspicion.
It's a fact. Yes, my not even suspicion.
It confirmed it.
Yeah, but I will call it my, what do you call it? Protest. It's my protest. It started my protest at Top Rank. Like, why would, bro? Like, what y'all think Wilder got cheated? Yes or no?
Coming from a dude who don't like Wilder, I will say something was off with him that second fight. Now, I remember watching his ring walk, and I'm like, something ain't right about this dude.
Okay.
I think what he did, I don't think Wilder was drugged. I think that what Fury did is he just wore his gloves like looser, like I don't know what it's called, but it's like when you wear the glove. Not necessarily, he didn't put like all the way in the wrist area, but it's like in the middle, like it's his like, so that way he could kind of. He wasn't punching with like the front part of his glove, like his fist was like in the middle of the glove, and he was kind of trying to hit him with that because there was like less area there.
Okay, so if one of y'all fighter got cheated, y'all would just be like whatever.
It depends on how
Who
it goes.
your favorite fighter?
It don't depend on shit. I wouldn't be like no whatever, to be honest.
Well, if I was 100% sure that he got cheated,
Who
I
is
would be
your
like, okay,
favorite
fuck
fighter?
that guy. I like Devin Haney. He's up there. I like Boots now because my favorite fighter all time is Roy.
So if Jojo Diaz, with Golden Boy's help, beat Devin Haney with a legal glove, you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would your reaction be like?
Yes, but I would have to know that the glove's illegal.
Well, you ain't got to use the glove thing because we know what Golden Boy known for. They known for them funny ass scorecards. So, like, say Devin Haney go in there and outclass him, and somehow JoJo win on the cards.
I'm not gonna say fuck JoJo.
Nah,
honestly, I'm still gonna watch. If Golden Boy puts on a good fight, I'm gonna watch it.
Scorecards is a whole different thing. Hey, ask Art if Wilder got cheated.
What is he?
I don't know.
All right, this is your show, my guy. You can't disappear.
Listen, I know this. I know Art had plenty of conversations with Tay Jones, and if Art had to bet his life on Wilder getting cheated, he would do it. And that's as good as 100% as you could get. And I would bet my life on it too.
Yeah, but but as from like an average person standpoint, that's not enough.
I know, but I'm just again, I'm not telling you.
For you, I understand. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
You know Tay Jones.
I'm not getting, but
so you trust Tay Jones, and then therefore him
it's
saying
even Tay Jones though. I could give you. Listen, I could give you before Tay Jones even said.
Well, also Fury has the record, so it's not because Fury tested positive, so it
ain't even that. Right? Okay, here's what I know about boxing. I know when someone cheats their gloves, your face, the way it hurt it. When someone cheats in general, the kind of imprints that get left on your face aren't normal. and I know this because Floyd Mayweather, when he did the face-to-face with Miguel Cotto, he said, yo, your face after the Antonio Margarito fight is never supposed to look like that. And then I started thinking like, okay,
Well, he meant because of the cuts, because he was so cut up.
yeah,
He
but
didn't say like your face was like.
my point is Margarito cheated his glove.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I started thinking, okay, what about Pacquiao versus David Diaz? What about Pacquiao versus Cotto? There's all these fights where dude's face looks completely, unless you like Gabe Rosado, he cut kind of easy. If your face look crazy, there's a good chance a guy cheated. So I watched Fury versus Wallen, and Fury punched Wallen more times in that fight than he did in Fury Wilder 2. Wilder's face don't cut or bruise easy. But in a fight where Wilder only got
But
punched,
he also hasn't been hit as much as Fury hit him, though.
yeah, but he only got punched about 50, 60 times. And he had a welt on the side of his face that I've never seen a welt like that in all my years of watching boxing, bro.
What about when Hasim Rahman? I don't know who Hasim Rahman fought.
That was a headbutt. That wasn't a punch.
Yeah, but I'm still okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
but my point is, Fury and Wilder had no headbutts. If it was a headbutt, I'll say okay. There was no headbutts in that fight. It was all
You're talking about the
punches.
swelling on the side of his head, right?
Yeah. How do you have a hematoma? That's not even a place where you bruise normally. Like most people bruise under their eye, on their jaw.
But majority of Fury's punches were hooks.
But you
Not
still,
only
but you
that,
still,
he
you still get a
deliberately
bruise.
he deliberately targets Wilder ear. Like he
But that-
literally throws his punches at Wilder ear.
You don't get a bruise
Because
on
Wilder
your temple.
does a lot of high guard. Like he blocks just by putting his hands up, covering the front of his face. So he just kind of.
But that's not the point. You don't like find me a fight where a guy bruised in the temple from a punch. That don't happen, bro. That happens in MMA from like kicks and elbows. That's not normal for boxing. If you just said Wilder got punched so many times in that fight, Fury punched Otto Wallen double the times he punched Wilder. So why didn't Otto Wallen? Why his face wasn't bleeding and have big ass welts everywhere?
Well, they have different faces, right? And different people scar differently. But that's not what I meant. You said that you've never seen Wilder's face like that. But my point was that we've never seen Wilder get hit with that many clean punches by anybody.
That's true, but still. So we saying.
So if Wilder in his in pre-next fights, right, and he gets hit with clean shots as much as he did against Fury, and his face gets all, his face looks fine, right? Kind of like how like Canelo, like even if he gets hit a lot, his face doesn't really change. We could go, oh, that's kind of suspicious. But if he goes out and he fights Charles Martin and he gets hit, and the same swelling comes up,
looks fine or not. If he has a big ass welt, like he looked like he got hit in the face with a crowbar, then yeah, I'll be like, oh, I guess he gets crowbar bruises all the time. I mean, listen, I've watched thousands, probably hundreds of hours of boxing. I've never seen a bruise like that before. And in his boxing, you see like headbutt bruises happen, injuries happen. I've never seen.
It's not like crazy to think that if someone hits you in the same place repeatedly, that could happen. Even if it was just
okay, if that's true, how come in the third fight Wilder got hit more than the second fight, but Wilder didn't have a big ass bruise on his face? He was bleeding and he was swollen in his lips and his eyes, but why he didn't have a big bruise across the side of his ear and on his temple?
Well, we would have to see like how many punches were landed in the area.
I looked it up, bro. It's not that many. I've looked it up.
No, but like in the specific area where the swelling is, right? We would have to see, okay, how many times was he punched there in comparison to the third fight?
I mean, listen.
So just to say, way, like, yeah,
it don't matter because ultimately, the game is dirty. You do what you can get away with, and all you could do, all you could hope for in general, is for as much protection as possible, and that's why I don't really support these other cats, bro.
Yeah,
guess what? When I watch like a PBC, like let's take Castano versus Charlo, for example. You would think that PBC would want Charlo to win. Like he's been with PBC for longer. He talked trash plenty, so we know he can make pay-per-views.
He's bigger than Castano in general.
Yeah, he just every tangible mark is he bigger than Castano. That fight was so close they could have just gave it to Charlo and he would have been undisputed and we
No,
would
I
never
don't
hear.
think you could I don't think you could give it to Charlo.
What you talking about? They gave Canelo a draw versus Floyd. They could give anything
No,
they wanted.
I mean, yeah, but that's considered one of the worst scorecards ever in history, and then they banned that lady for life.
Yeah, and it still happened. It's still in the record books. That's my point.
Oh, okay. No, but I'm saying from like, okay, let's say that the sport is fair.
No,
right?
I get what you mean.
Okay.
And you talking from an optics standpoint.
What you said. You're saying that they could have given it to Charlo. Like it was close enough where it could have been like a clean take.
They could have just been like 115, 113 Charlo across the board. Charlo
exactly, yes.
And people would have been like, oh, that scorecard is whack. But guess what? They would have said, oh, well, it's over. He undisputed. Now he get to do a Jared Hurd pay-per-view, a J-Rock pay-per-view.
I think the problem with that is Charlo doesn't sell. So it would be no benefit.
But they would still have more benefit from him winning the Castano.
I don't think so. Castano, I think he's Spanish, right? So he
That's
might be
a
more
lot
of
of people just think that. A lot of people think that it's just, okay, well, this guy's Spanish, okay, and this guy's African American, so he'll do good in the African American crowd, or this guy's Mexican, so he'll draw. It doesn't work like that. Like it's really just about promotion and like what your narrative is behind you. So if Castaño is what's the name of the guy that Oscar De La Hoya fought that everyone knocked out but was super popular? Oh, it's Drew Starr. The guy who smacked Shane Mosley's wife.
Oh, you're talking about Mayorga?
Mayorga. Okay, Mayorga, perfect example. Doesn't speak English, but massive draw. All his fans come because why? Because they know when he gets to the press conference, he's going to say some crazy shit. He's going to get in your favorite fighter's face. He's going to, he promotes. So that's how he got all those big fights. Even though he kept losing, everyone watched Mayorga fight.
Facts. And that's my point. Is like PBC. I could name plenty. Like, okay, here's another one. If PBC really was like, fuck it, we just gonna go all the way with it and just try to make our fighters look lit and safe and protected, why would they do Wilder versus Ortiz too? Do you know how dangerous that fight is? Like you could say what you want about Ortiz, he old and all this other stuff. That's a dangerous fight, bro. That dude is a good fighter. He punch hard, and he more technical than Wilder to be like on certain levels. Why would you do a second fighter that's crazy? They could have just said, or why would you even do Fury, to be honest? They could have just been like, yo, we just like Terrence Crawford. They gave Terrence Crawford, Kell Brook, Amir Khan, the Mean Machine, and Jose Benavidez with a bullet in his leg. They could have been like, hey, Wilder, we gonna give you Kalnacki, Gerald Washington, Part 2, Charles Martin, and all these bummy dudes, bro. They gave that boy hard ass fights.
But I also think that's part Wilder, because if whatever you say about Wilder, you know that he wanted to fight Ortiz again. He wanted, like, if the Fury rematch would have happened, the second fight would have happened sooner if it was up to Wilder, right? Like, we agree that guy is a guy who wants to fight like challenges.
No, that's true.
So maybe that's what he had available.
We could keep going. We could do Pacquiao Ugas. If they was like really just trying to cook shit all the way, why would you even put Pacquiao in the ring with Ugas?
But that's also because Pacquiao want to keep fighting. So if Pacquiao had said, I'm gonna wait out for Spence, they're gonna wait it out.
But they could have put anyone on that undercard slot. They could have been like, okay, we gonna do, like, who's a bummy dude? Not bummy, but who's like a lower level dude at 147 that Pacquiao would probably just beat?
Lopez.
Yeah, they could have been like, yo, we gonna do Jose Cito Lopez versus Ugas on the undercard, and then if Errol fall out, we just gonna uplift Jose Cito. That's a perfect example. They don't. They always, more often than not, it ain't always. 80% of the time, they try and just give you competitive fights.
Well, you can say that for other companies though.
Or here's another one, Jermell Charlo again. If they was really trying to cook it, why would Tony Harrison had beat Jermell Charlo? That was a close fight too.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I could name so many, bro. If I really just sit here and like crank them all out, I could name plenty. Or okay. Why if PBC wasn't about making good fights and competitive and fair fights, why wouldn't they have done J-Rock versus Charlo for undisputed? They did J-Rock
had a mandatory though.
You don't think they could have paid that dude off to sit on the sideline?
I think that was IBF, so no.
Nah.
Nah, but nah, the IBF, no. The IBF do that. They take, because guess what? Charlo mandatory right now with the IBF is some random European dude, and they paying him.
Oh, he's not going to fight that guy?
I don't think they paying him off. I think he's
This is
going to
what
have
they
that fight.
do. Now, I'm gonna school y'all. This is what they do. When you're mandatory and they don't want to fight you because like they got bigger plans, they say, listen, we'll pay you some step aside money and we'll let you fight on our undercard so you double dipping and you can stay in line. But all you got to do is just not force the mandatory, and we'll give you an easy fighter so you could just cook them and keep getting money. You'll stay the mandatory and you get step aside money. Are you cool with that? Most guys aren't going to say no to that. Because guess what? When you wait, your fight going to be bigger anyway, because the dude that they try and take care of, his profile just going to keep growing and growing and growing. So Charlo has an IBF mandatory right now. I forget the guy's name, but the PBC just keep paying him off because they want Charlo to keep getting these big fights, because the mandatories are whack, to be honest.
I feel like I didn't hear that. I thought Charlo was going to fight that guy.
I think he is going to fight him, bro. I literally been here, and then
because then why would you just do
Jermell Charlo is going to rematch Castano in 2022, and the reason I know this is because all the mandatories for the WBO and the IBF are due, but they haven't got called yet. The only way
it's the WBC up next for Charlo.
Whichever.
WBC is easy. WBC is easy.
Whichever sanctioning body is up next, none of them are getting called, and the reason why is because they don't want to strip the undisputed fight. So they letting it fly. Everyone took the money to just chill out and wait for that fight to happen, and then after that fight, when they're going to start.
Why would they announce the mandatories though? Then, because why would they? Okay, so the IBF ordered it though. Well, they said, or they announced that he has a mandatory due. So if that was the case, why would they even announce that? Why would they even apply that?
Because the IBF is just doing what their duties are to do, but it's up to the fighters to we're gonna press the button and make this shit happen, or we're not.
I don't see that fight happening next because Castano finna have a WBO mandatory, and Tim Tszyu not gonna take that step aside money.
Tim Tszyu is fighting this weekend, bro. So
he's fighting today.
Well, the weigh-in was today, so I guess technically you could be right because it's 18 hours away or whatever. But basically, that's not gonna happen. And even I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't even think Jermell. I don't think Jermell's afraid, but I honestly don't think he cares if he fights. Because after the fight, he didn't seem like keen, like that he wanted to rematch right away.
I just think he was disappointed because he fought kind of like that. I thought that was
not his best performance.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that he could be, because his output has always kind of been an issue, and I think that a lot of people are saying that Derek James has changed him, but a lot of the issues that he had with Ronnie Shields, I still see those now. Because in reality, I felt like he was losing the rematch with Tony, even though he got an early knockdown. He's got weird power too. He'll hurt someone, and then they'll be okay later. He'll knock him down like he did with Austin Trout, and then they'll survive. He has kind of like Foreman. He'll knock you down, but it won't concuss you or something.
He definitely has weird power for sure. But I do think we see that.
I hope so. It was a great fight.
That's going to be a part of PBC's next rollout. The next rollout, we kind of starting to see it. We're going to get.
That's why Bud needs to go to PBC, because think about the options. I know that Boots isn't technically with them, but he's fighting on Showtime. So you could fight Spence. That would probably be more than one fight. So you could have 2 fights with Spence. You could have Boots. Virgil is a mandatory, so eventually you can just fight him. It doesn't matter what platform he is. Then you can go up to 154, and you can fight Castano and Mel and J-Rock and Hurd and all these guys. There's so many options. The only guy at top rank they got is Josh Taylor, which would also be a good fight, but that's all they got.
No, I agree, man. But it's just Bud. And this is something else I know for sure. Bud really, really, really don't want to go to PBC. It's a personal thing.
Yeah, but you can't stay with a guy who on national TV said, I could buy a house in Malibu with the money I lost on this guy. What? You can't do that.
But that's how stubborn Bud is. Bud is so stubborn.
He said that even if he got the 50-50 now, or he didn't say now, right? But he said if later down the line they try and give it to me after a certain amount of period of time, I'm not going to take it, because then they'll be I'm fighting on your terms. I'm fighting when you want to fight. he doesn't want to give him like the
Yeah, he just
satisfaction.
don't want to do it on someone else's terms, and that's why he not going to. Bro, I know people from their side, bro. That's why it's never gonna happen. The thing, Bud and his team are convinced, and unfortunately, because it's wrong, that PBC has like conspired against Bud to not send him fighters. But what Bud doesn't understand, his team don't understand, it's not PBC's responsibility to do that. Like all the fighters have their own journeys. When
I
he,
agree. I also think that problem is that Bud actually. I honestly think that Bud would say that he's like equal with Errol Spence in terms of like stardom because in the recent interview with Brian Custer, he was saying, oh well, the way that Spence got big is that he said like he started talking about me, and then the build up between me and him began, and that like he's basically trying to say that Spence got big off him when in reality. I feel like it's the other way around. That people started being like, "Oh, who's this Bud guy?" Like, who can? Because Spence got the Mayweather stamp, and everyone's like, "Okay, this guy's legit." And people are like, oh, this Bud guy, oh, he's like a possible challenge for Spence. And then they kind of realize his long history in the sport. Like he's accomplished a good amount of things.
yeah, Bud, I don't
I
even.
don't think so. I think they was pretty much even on the playing field. You got to remember, Bud was coming up from 140 undisputed. He already had a lot of eyes on him. You
I
got to
don't think
remember,
he had a lot of eyes
he
though.
did. You got to remember, his first fight was Jeff Horn at 140. That fight there brought in the most views from any combat sport,
How many views did they do on it?
two
That was that.
million. And then
But that's wrong. No, that's wrong because Errol Spence versus Leonard Bundu did like 5 million after the Olympics. So that's not right.
that wasn't the same year.
Okay, so you're
So
saying
what
same
you
year.
saying that year?
Yeah, he and for two consecutive years, Crawford brought in the most views from any combat sport. So he had the views and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna say he was unknown. He was known
I
enough.
still question whether that's correct or not because there was fights
I mean, I
around
believe
that
it because
time.
anytime that a lot of
It
these guys are
he
bigger than we
fights on
think.
ESPN. You gotta remember that's the biggest sport network.
Like
Yeah,
Jamel,
but
like
okay,
a
but
lot of
what
people
year
talk.
was it? Like, guess what? Let me go year by year. Charlo versus uh Tony Harrison and Jamal versus the European dude that did like 3 or 4 million and change. The
That was
Keith,
on Showtime, wasn't it?
no, it wasn't. It was on Fox.
I don't. I'm not sure it did 3 million.
It did. I know it did. I know it did over three. Or
I'm gonna go look it up. I'm gonna get my laptop because I've never heard of a Fox fight to do that many views.
it was the
I'm gonna.
first PBC on Fox fight, and then Leonard Bundu and Errol did like 5 million, and then Keith had a joint on ABC that did like no on CBS that did like 5 or 6 million or something
You
retarded.
got to remember that Leonard Bundu versus Earl was like 2017. That was before he fought Kell
I
Brook.
just named like four different fights on different years back to
I
back.
know, but you got to remember the Bud versus Jeff Horn fight. That was what like 2019.
I mean, check.
I'm gonna call it a night, guys. So it was nice talking boxing with you.
All right, but what the hell is Artman, man?
I'm in probably getting high.
Okay, that's what that noise was. No, wrong. Wow. Dun, dun, dun.
They don't even release the ESPN Plus ratings anyway. That fight was on ESPN Plus, so there's never going to be an accurate
Which fight?
Bud versus Horn. That was one of the first fights on ESPN Plus. I know that because I was at a wedding and dudes was watching it like during the wedding, basically during the not the actual service, but the dance and shit. You never get them ESPN Plus ratings, just like you never get fucking the zone ratings. Charlo Harrison.
Okay, Crawford versus Book did 2 million. Crawford versus Benavidez did 2.2 million. Most viewed fight of the year. Let's see. What's that nigga name? Yeah. Yeah, Spence versus Peterson only did 600,000.
Yeah, on Showtime. Look up,
Yeah,
look up,
Showtime might be
look
shit
up
number.
Spence versus Bundu.
I think I remember this fight. That was after the Olympics, right?
Yeah, I was at that fight in the fucking third row.
Yeah, that was 2016. 6 million views. What's his next fight? Van Heeren?
Nah, it wasn't Van Haren. It was Bundu, Peterson.
Algeria, right?
Nah, that was before. I'm telling you, it was Bundu, Peterson, Brook.
Bro,
Took
that's
that
it.
that one off mandatory joint against that Mexican dude. I don't remember his name. Then he fought Mikey. Then he fought Sean. Then he fought fucking Danny. Then he fought the. Well, no, that's where we at now. Supposed to fight Pacquiao.
Damn, everybody going the last one on this motherfucker? Artman even left.